I do like being lean and I do like burning calories and I do want to burn more calories. Is there anything that I could do other than freezing myself and shivering that might burn calories? I could have had my Coach Greg, and today we're going to go over whether or not cold therapy can help with burning calories, boosting your metabolism, or recovering from training. You've all seen Chris Bumstead get into a cold bath after training to help his recovery, but does it work? And can we in fact use cold therapy to help us burn fat? The answer is, it depends. Of course it depends. Everything depends. I'm going to explain how you can use it, how it's beneficial, and how it actually can be detrimental. So I can say, yes, it does in fact help you burn calories to shiver, but I explain the pros and the cons and whether or not you should try it. But before we get into that, let's talk about using ice baths to help with recovery after training. Can it in fact help? Yes. Yes, it can. It can, in fact, help you recover. Problem is, in helping you recover, it actually can, in fact, reduce your gains. You go to the gym to cause a stimulus for muscle growth. You get a pump, you train harder than last time, and when you're done, you get some inflammation, you're sore, tired. After that, you go into an ice bath and it helps reduce this inflammation. Yeah, it does that, but at the same time, that inflammation is in fact one of the reasons you're going to grow. So if you go into an ice bath after training, you're actually taking away some of the benefits of the training. So if your goal is to go to the gym to actually build muscle, why would you go and take an ice bath to reduce some of that muscle building? Well, if you don't care about getting bigger and you just care about recovering, you don't want muscle, but you want to recover and get faster, that makes sense. So perhaps you're a runner, a biker doing triathlons. You don't care about having massive muscles. You just want to be fast. An MMA fighter trying to make a weight class. You don't want that extra muscle. You can go and fight, work out, train harder than last time, take an ice bath after, and that can help you recover. But if you're a bodybuilder and you want to have big biceps, doesn't make sense to go and do an ice bath after training because you're inhibiting some of that muscle growth. So if you do want to, in fact, use cold therapy to build more muscle, wait until later. If you train in the morning, afternoon, do your cold therapy at night. It doesn't make sense to finish your training and then jump into an ice bath. That, to me, is counterproductive for most people unless you don't care about building muscle. Next, what about burning fat using cold therapy to burn calories? Well, what does cold therapy actually do? Well, for one, if you go into an ice bath, it's going to make you cold. The colder it is and the longer you go in it for, the colder you're going to get. When you get really cold, there's something happens to the body to prevent you from dying. It's called shivering. So inducing shivering, the body, the muscles are actually starting to move. That would qualify as NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. If you're shivering, your body's twitching, it's burning calories. And so if you in fact go into an ice bath or a freezing cold shower to the point of causing shivering, that will in fact burn more calories, which can boost your metabolism and help you to lose weight. Have you ever gone into a really cold shower? I have. Hate it. I despise it. You ever gone into an ice bath? I've done that too. I hate it even more. I hate it so much that in my mind, I'm thinking, I certainly hope that people who despise doing cardio don't hate it as much as I despise being cold. I hate being cold with a passion. I would rather do anything than freeze. Hate it. But it burns calories and boosts your metabolism. Well, that's a great point. I do like being lean and I do like burning calories and I do want to burn more calories. Is there anything that I could do other than freezing myself and shivering that might burn calories? I could have had it's on the tip of my tongue. Oh yeah, cardio and lifting weights, things I like to do that are good for my health. So you can opt to shiver off the calories, or instead of going in a freezing cold shower ice bath, you could go for a walk and burn more calories during that walk than during the shivering process. Choice is yours. I'm not saying either is bad, and in fact, shivering can be fun for some people. Exposing themselves to cold temperatures is in fact pleasurable to many people. There is in fact a dopamine release, and this dopamine release, it feels good. Life is all about getting dopamine, makes us feel good. So when I go to the spa and they have an ice bath and a warm bath, my friends, they love it. I hate it. Me and Allie, we hang out in a warm pool. Yeah, you guys can go and freeze yourselves over there and have fun with that. We're going to stay over here and watch. They love it. There's nothing wrong with that. So although I don't like it, that's my own personal belief. I don't like it. Doesn't mean you can't like it. So although I like going for bike rides, even though I break my freaking arm half the time I'm riding, I still love bike riding. So think how stupid that is. Coach Greg, you preach riding bikes. Think of how many times you've hurt yourself on a bike. Lots more than any other sport. Yet I still do it. So I can't sit here and make a video and shit on people who like cold showers and want to shiver to burn calories. But I can say if you don't like it, it's not fun or pleasurable for you, you can in fact go to the gym, lift weights, build muscle, or go for a walk and burn those calories. There are many ways to burn fat. Shivering is one. It's not my favorite, but it is in fact going to work. But how do you in fact go about doing? What protocol can you use? Well, I was listening to Andrew Huberman, who had a fat burning protocol while using shivering from an ice bath or a shower. So let's see what he says.
What you want to do is to get into the cold and then get out of the cold, and typically not dry off. That will definitely stimulate more shivering than just getting into the cold itself.
So what you need to do is go into something very cold, but not so cold that it could cause a heart attack. You don't want to shock the heart. So you do have to get used to it. And then you get out of the water and shiver for a couple minutes and go back in and repeat 3 times back and forth for approximately 11 minutes a week. So what you do is you go in and out of the freezing cold water in order to shiver. This releases more succinate, allowing more brown fat to be in the body. This brown fat, it's more metabolically active. It's going to burn more calories, heat up the body. By doing this, an added benefit, it also allows the body to adapt to the cold. Maybe you're always cold, you do this a bit more often, you get used to it. The body gets used to things. You go colder than last time repeatedly over and over again, and eventually over the course of months, you're better adapted to the cold. It's just how it works. On the opposite extent, if you keep exposing yourself to warm weather, very hot environments and doing exercise, you get used to it. If every time you go for a run, it's a nice, calm, cool day, and suddenly you run and it's 100 degrees, it's going to be very difficult for you in comparison to somebody who is running in Mexico where it's always hot. Makes sense, right? So your body does adapt. But at the same time, if you expose yourself to the cold, real cold for too long, your body also adapts to that. It doesn't release as much dopamine. Think of it. The first time you go into a cold shower, you turn by accident, it wakes you up. It feels good. It feels good to no longer suffer. It also reminds me of bike riding or doing cardio. You sprint up that big hill. It's hard, lactic acid, you're breathing hard. Finally, you get to the top of the hill and you can relax and coast downhill. Feels good. So to me, this is what shivering is like. You're getting a huge release of dopamine. You're getting really cold shivering, and then suddenly you get out and you feel back to normal. So I do urge you to be careful when using these new scientific ways to burn fat or recover. What goes up, it must come down. And if you're always exposing yourself to the cold, that dopamine release, it's not going to be the same anymore. But if you use it sparingly, it's going to feel better. Same as pre-workout. If you use pre-workout, 2 scoops, double scooping it every day, eventually that double scoop doesn't have the same effect. The first time you use pre-workout, it's real strong. That caffeine hits you hard. But after several weeks straight, it doesn't have the same effect. So if I were you, I would use cold water therapy sparingly. Maybe 1 to 2 times a week if you really like it. It can help you burn fat and it can help you recover from training. So Goku Flex, y'all know Goku Flex is popular YouTuber. Him and his girlfriend, they're using cryotherapy after training to help them recover. They probably don't know it's going to actually prevent them from building as much muscle, but perhaps they're also doing it to help them burn fat. Well, let's see how enjoyable it is. 5 minutes of being cold AF. AF, that's as frig. He's very cold, and to me that looked like a lot of suffering. But he has done this before, he's adapted to this, and he's doing it outside. It's not freezing cold water, it's cold, but not freezing cold.
My feet are numb, arms are numb, everything's numb. I feel all the blood in my organs.
So his feet are numb, his body's, everything's numb, probably everything is numb. Everything is numb, but it feels kind of good. It's a relief. Feels good, probably has a dopamine release. This is good. It might help him recover from training, but he did this right after training, so probably not the best of his goals to build muscle. What about his girlfriend doing it for the first time? Well, she's not going for 5 minutes. She's going to do 3 minutes. Let's just see how enjoyable this is.
Oh, no. All right, jump in.
Oh my God.
All right,
Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
And she's hyperventilating, saying this is torture. Reminds me of Allie trying to get in the lake here in Nova Scotia, where it's 75 degrees. Imagine Allie trying to do this. She can barely go into the ocean water in Mexico on a warm day. What chance would she have of going in an ice cold bath for 3 minutes? Imagine, I'd be like, babe, you can burn off some calories and recover faster if you suffer for 3 minutes in an ice bath. She'd be like, give me the pickle pizza and I'm going to go into the sun. I don't care. So not everyone can do this. But if you like this, hey, props to you, and it can, in fact, help you burn fat and recover quicker, but potentially interrupt the amount of muscle you can build.
All right, so something that you also want to make sure you do prior to getting in is rapid fire breathing. So kind of like the Wim Hof breathing method.
And you don't actually have to do this hyperventilating thing. It is, in fact, beneficial for some. It makes it feel easier. For some people, they just want to go someplace else. Close your eyes. Imagine you're in Mexico, somewhere warm, not suffering uncontrollably. So this, in fact, yes, it can burn fat. So can HIIT cardio, so can regular cardio, going for a walk, eating healthy, eating more protein, more fiber. There are a ton of ways to burn fat, but at the end of the day, hear me out, at the end of the day, it is calories in, calories out. Even if this burnt an extra 100 calories, 500,000 calories, imagine if it did that, it doesn't. Even if it did that, if you eat more than you burn, you don't lose weight. So if you think you can just add in cryotherapy or cold water therapy or whatever and lose weight, it depends on if you're in a deficit. If you don't want to do this, you could also just eat fewer calories. And frankly, if you burn more calories, your body might in fact make you eat more. We don't know. You might burn an extra 100 calories shivering, perhaps. Then what happens if your body then signals more ghrelin, punch you in the face and eat? So if you do cryotherapy 4 in the afternoon, and for the rest of the evening, your body's making you more hungry, you might in fact eat more calories and end up gaining weight. You do not know. So even though science can support that this might potentially help you burn fat, in the real world, you just don't know, and it does in fact depend on the person. Some people might help them a lot. Some people might hurt them. You don't know.
Deep breaths in and out, get into a rhythm, in and out, breathe, 30 seconds.
She's 30 seconds in, suffering uncontrollably. She just looks like she wants to get out. She had a panic button. I bet she'd be pressing it right now.
All right, time.
Okay,
time.
I can't get out. Oh my God, it's so cold.
And she's so cold, she needs help to get out. So I do caution you, if you sit in there and it's ice cold and you sit for too long and your legs go numb, you might not even be able to get out. Imagine that, 1,000 ways to die. Went in an ice bath, froze myself to death, couldn't get out. My legs went numb. I tried to crawl out of the tub. I couldn't. Froze to death. It's possible. And I'm not kidding you. Me and Allie are in the hot tub. It's 97 degrees in the hot tub. And we get out, 50-degree air temperature. We're freezing. We hate even that. We have a robe ready immediately. We don't want to freeze. I can't even imagine having that hot tub as a cold tub. Go in, freeze, and then get out. Can't imagine doing it. But if you like doing it, hey, great on you.
Do you feel alive?
My nose is running. This isn't fun.
This isn't fun. Are you alive? Nope. My nose is running. This isn't fun. So obviously you can see, for some people, this is enjoyable. Others, they hate it. Sounds like me and Allie, and it's enjoyable for me and not her. Hey, you get the point.
That's the end of the video. Sandra's still cold back there.
She just hates her life. She's so freaking cold. I hate cold too. I can relate to her more than Goku.
And my body's feeling great. This feels very similar to cryo. Definitely think we need more ice. I think the water is too warm in Hawaii right now because it's summer.
Yeah, it wasn't cold enough. He needs more ice. He's feeling amazing. Wasn't cold enough. He's more cold adapted. This guy, he's done it before. And so the point of this video is cold therapy can in fact work for some people. It depends if you like it, if you don't like it, if you're adapted or not. But if your goal is to in fact burn fat, you still got to be in a calorie deficit. Ending it here. GregDoucette.com for coaching. Greg Doucette IB Pro. Watch those bloops. Harder than last time supplements. Hey, that can help you burn fat too. Pre-workout and so on. Burn more fat. Testosterone. Put on the muscle naturally. Hey, you know the cookbook can help you to lose weight by keeping you full and eating in a deficit. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment for the algorithm, and until next time, I am out.